Good evening, everybody! Welcome to round one of International Sim Racing Organization's 1978 DRM campaign, coming to you from Zolder in Belgium. I gotta say, everybody's doing an excellent job staying out of the way of the barriers in this race so far. But as we watch this race, Boss is leading, Cox is second, Nilsson third, Lucina fourth, Fredriksson fifth.
Cox on there now starting to get really antsy. We're 3 laps into the race.
Yeah.
That's 1/8 of it. Oh, there's some wild track cutting there. I guess he got a warning by the race direction. But yeah, I mean, with these cars, there's big slip angles, sideways action. So if you're not really precise, it's very easy that you get too much out of shape. And then the car is obviously cutting the corner like that through the middle. Under Nilsson there in not too distant third. And Fredriksson and Latina are fourth and fifth. They're sliding their BMWs through the corner.
Yep.
Little Al seems to have finally been able to dispense with Pascal Mikula and is now hunting down Rai Ridal. Whatever happened to Pascal, because he's in 14th now. Probably an out-track excursion.
Yeah, we've got Francois Remen out of the race, unfortunately.
Yeah, lots of fast and furious action, so it's very easy that some of the cars are out of the race before you even know it. Juha was still clinging on to the lead, but this could actually mean nothing, because these cars, well, they could easily blow up in the last lap, and they often did.
They could, yeah. That's one thing that you were mentioning before, testing these cars, is that engine blow-ups were much more frequent with this class than the other. As Coxon pops out to have a look, but it looks like Juha's got the legs to handle down the straight.
Well, he's actually driving here in home ground, so I guess he wants to make it a decent show. Not that Martin Latina, Fredriksson, and John Tim are having any kind of truce either. The hostilities are absolutely on, because as we said, this is a series where you either make it quickly or the race is over.
Through the chicane, Juha and Coxon almost glued together there.
Yeah, this is not exactly the track that gives you the most room for overtaking. And it's also very narrow, as probably your viewers can see. So it doesn't give you that many opportunities. I mean, there are many chicanes, of course, so the braking, because the passing usually occurs on the braking. So you have that opportunity to outbrake the next guy. But the problem is that the straight that leads to those chicanes is actually quite short. So you don't always have the momentum. I mean, now again to the last chicane.
Yeah, looking a little further back, John Team is all the way up to 6th place. He started last, if I remember correctly, and he showed a lot of pace in the warm-ups, so there you go. It shows you, it shows that he's in a good spot to do well in this race, despite the fact that he started last, and that's a huge jump.
Little Al is also now getting antsy behind Rai Ridal. Now, when they come to the straight, you can see the legs that the BMW has.
Yeah, this is really the first real straight-up Ford versus BMW fight that we see on here. I'll have to look very carefully at what happens. So you're saying on the straight that the car really stretches its legs. And this is due to the turbocharger versus normally aspirated aspect of it, as little Al misses the chicane there, so he's likely going to get a warning from race control, but I think you're allowed 3 of those, right?
I think so, yes. Just it's 2 strikes before you get a drive-through penalty. But yeah, that's one of the issues that you have when you're driving against a turbocharged car, because they are so different in everything. I mean, one of them is quick where the other isn't, so you really are making up the distance, the difference in places where it's somehow unnatural for the other car, and then you can easily get out of sync and suffer the consequences here. It's really hard to pass a car that has such a different handling and behavior than yours.
I gotta say, I'm really liking the look of these models. The detail of them is excellent. They look very good on the screen. Glad that we finally got the screen working.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
It was a good work there by CMH. And also with the help of David Saber. But yeah, I mean, and you shouldn't be lost in the fact that there are... Oh, Coxon now trying it on the inside.
No, I don't know what the difference is there between... I mean, they're all the same vehicle, Boss, Coxon, and
well, that's
Nilsson,
what I was actually saying, that if you look carefully, there are some details that stand out, and that's, for example, not all the cars have the same rear wheels. Some of the cars have higher rims, they have bigger ones, and that's obviously a design option.
Oh my goodness, look at this. Nilsson's getting a bit impatient there behind Coxon. Let's see if he can get around Coxon.
So yeah, the cars with the bigger rims, they have a different behavior, because they are more edgy on the turns, even if they have more grip. And the tires respond differently. So for example, if you focus on the car by, I think Jacob, for example, he has the normal rims on the rear. They are the same size as the front. But in the case of other cars, for example, the one from Richard Coxon, that's not the case. Actually, even between teammates, because Anders Nilsson has the small rims on the rear, whereas Coxon has the big ones. So true. Lots of attention to detail here in this mode.
Let's look a little further back here, see what's going on. Little Al is staying right with Ray Rodal for 7th place. We got a yellow flag here. Somebody's off the track. It appears it is...
Wait, Jacob.
Fredrickson.
Yeah.
Fredrickson running very slowly.
Is that a broken engine?
Maybe.
Already?
He flashes some lights, but he's coming off the track, so it looks like that's a broken engine, yeah. Too bad.
That didn't last long.
Well, that might not bode well for some of the other people who are trying really hard.
Yeah, this is a stern warning for everybody. A good reminder of what these engines are all about.
Little Al continues to work on Ray Rodal. Really wants to try to get there, but... Oh, Ray has a little bit of a bobble, and it looks like this is Al's chance. He gets by. Ray Rodal has a little bit of a bobble exiting the chicane, and that allows little Al to pick up 6th place. They're elevated 1 place, both of them, I think, because of Fredrickson's retirement. Yes. Let's take a look at a replay of that. And you can see there just a slight bobble, and that's all it took for little Al to get by. Question is, can he keep that? But look at here's Coxon again, man. He's giving Boss no rest at all. As we come into the start of lap number 9.
Yeah, I think he has tried it twice or so, and he realizes that passing here is quite complicated because of the narrow nature of the circuit. So he's actually trying just to put some pressure, force the error, and try to bring Juha to give up the place. Because of exhausting.
Yeah, this battle eventually, I'm thinking, is going to end in tears for somebody. We'll see. Coxon looking for every piece of daylight he can, but just can't seem to get the edge he needs to get by Juha. Here he's going to try into the corner, outbrake him, but really all he can do is get alongside his right rear fender, and that's about it.
Lots of fast and furious action, and I think you can see even the character of every driver easily now. Juha Boss is there clinching on there steadily, like trying to stay cool and all that. Coxon is putting all the pressure that he can, and Anderson is basically waiting for things to fall in his arms. The coolest driving here is by Anders.
So far, we have 5 DNFs, and I'm guessing most of them are due to engine failures.
Yes, some suspension damage. For example, in the case of KO, where the rear tires were overheated, and he ended up spinning and hitting the barrier. But yes, I mean, we're lap 9. Uy, Coxon, that was nearly clipping. Come on, boss. Oh, look at that. Round the outside. Now there is a pass.
Oh, man, look at this.
My goodness, if he makes that stick, that's
He does.
awesome.
Coxon's in the lead. Fantastic.
First race here, and this is probably the pass of the season.
Let's have a look here one more time.
Amazing.
Coming through the corner, he passes on the outside, and Juha, to his credit, gives Coxon room, doesn't force him off the track, and Coxon gets by. So that's an example right there of sportsmanship and great driving, I think. Excellent.
Really amazing how Coxon executed it, because I think he tricked Juha completely. Juha was not really knowing where Coxon was going to pass. He probably didn't think that it was going to happen like that. But that was really, really a skillful one.
And now look at how he's pulling away a little bit. He's
Literal has just spun.
Oh no, he has. What happened
In
here?
6th place, but
Oh, he just lost the back end. Rear tire's probably overheating a little bit, but good job by Ray Riddall to not hit him, because that would have been easy to do in that situation. He gets going right way again. Only lost, I think he's going to lose a spot to
to Jan Kowalski now.
Kowalski, but well, I don't know. Let's see. This is a replay still, but looking at the replay fully, yes, he lost that position to Kowalski, so he didn't lose that much time.
Yeah, it's the issue here is that obviously with the race being so short, because we're nearly half into it, and we're already in lap 10 of 24. And so with the race is being so short, any error is dearly paid for here.
And John Team all the way up to 4th place now after 10 laps. Pretty impressive. Well, Juha's not letting this go. He's staying right with Coxon. And you can definitely see, too, there's a difference in, if I'm not mistaken, it looks like there's a difference in wing design in the front on these BMWs as well.
It could be. Although with the livery, you never know.
No,
yes, I see what you mean. Yes,
mm-hmm.
Yes, definitely. Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Not only the front, but the rear wing section, where the tires pop out of the main body section.
Now Little Al is climbing his own mountain. He has to go past Jan Kowalski.
Yeah, we'll see if he can, using every bit of the road that he can. No, not quite there. Just not the momentum needed to get by. Looking further back in the field, Mikkola hanging on to 8th, Remen is 9th, Saber is 10th, and Jonathan Asserklint is in 11th place.
And am I seeing Francois Remen in 9th position?
Yes, you do.
Yes,
Remen's
he
in
was
9th,
out
yes.
of the race.
I did too. It's strange. There are 2 Remens on the server at the same time,
Yeah,
which
it's
is weird.
well, that is the issue that we had before about the lag, but now fortunately he's in the race. Happy to say.
Yeah.
Martin Lathina in turn is out of the race.
Oh boy.
Yep. So Coxon on the lead did the quickest lap some time ago, but now it's Coxon who has got it. Nilsson still in 3rd there, but I think probably playing the waiting game. John Tim is in 4th. Rai Rital keeps the 5th position, and Jan Kowalski is there 6th with Little Art right behind him. I'm wondering what goes now through Juha's mind, because Coxon isn't really like vanishing into the horizon. I mean,
No,
the
he's
pass
not.
was very skillful, but it's not as if he was the car stuck behind with a very big speed differential, waiting there to pass. And no, that doesn't seem to be the case. I mean, as soon as he got by, he actually kept the same rhythm that he had before, and it's not much quicker than he was. So Juha is there hunting him.
Yeah, it's. I would have expected Coxon to start sprinting away, but he hasn't been doing that. It's going to be. Looks now like Juha might be taking a little bit of a breather, but Nilsson definitely permanently, well, not permanently, but in a very solid 3rd place. Team is in 4th. He's got a ways to go if he wants to catch that trio.
Yep.
5th, Ray Radal, who has hit the barrier. Oh man! And he's
Kowalski and Little Al just barely
managed to get
him.
by. Let's see what happened here. Oh, I see what happened. He lost it before he got to the barrier itself. Here's a replay from the inside. Yeah, and the car. Oh, that's really that's too bad.
Out track excursion for Kowalski. Is Little Al close enough to capitalize? Barely there,
barely. Yeah, trying, but not going to happen.
One of the most demoralizing things when you see the guy in front doing the error that you have waiting for so long, but you're not close enough.
Just can't get to him, yeah.
But I mean, watch out, because...
Oh, look at that! Kowalski makes another mistake. Shortcuts the chicane.
Yes, as we are past the middle of the race, the tires are going to start to play a role.
Mm-hmm.
Especially for those that have been overdriving it. And it seems to me that Kowalski has been doing that, because, my goodness, the BMW is slippery now.
Yeah, it certainly appears to be.
Not probably that the pressure from Little Al is helping him much.
The Classic Motorsports Hub points out a very salient point. Coxon is in a naturally aspirated car, Juha in a turbo. So he can't run away with it. He'll be sweating to himself. So there you go. That gives us a bit of an insight as to what's going on up front. Thank you for that. Little Al takes another look at the inside, but just doesn't have the horsepower to get by.
No,
Yeah,
but I think the case is that Kowalski is overdriving the tires much more. You can see the car is not so much in shape. And we're in lap 14 of 24. And in some laps more, I mean, the tires could be falling off a cliff and things could be looking very differently. I mean, Little Al needs to really be patient now. Because at some point, if things go on like this and he keeps putting pressure, probably the tires in Kowalski's car are going to give up. So
look at this fantastic battle between Boss and Nilsson now.
Yes. Was about to point that out. Nilsson is now probably confident about how things are developing in the race, and he's trying to put the pressure on Juha Boss.
Yeah.
Likely also thinking that Juha must have used the tires much more, because remember the difference being that the cars are the 320 for Coxon and Nilsson is aspirated and the one for Juha Boss is turbocharged. So yes, Juha has more power, but he also has more wheel spin, especially in this low track. So I would think that the tires in Juha Boss car are getting much more of a beating from the extra horsepower and the kick of the turbo than the ones in the aspirated cars. So it's a bit of a mixed blessing. You get a car that is quick, but at the same time, you need to be really careful with what the tires are doing. So, Little Al seems to have finally made it through.
Yeah, he has. Let's see if we can get a replay. What happened here? Because we missed it with while we were watching the leaders. No, it happened a bit too far back. In any case, I think you're right. I think Kowalski was definitely overheating his tires too much.
We haven't talked much about our friend Jonathan, who is in the race, driving one of the ungainly looking BMWs 2002, and he's now hunting down David Saber for 9th position.
Oh, yep, there he is. 2002 BMW with very strange rear body work.
Yeah, it seems like someone got a blow torque and had like not a clear idea of what he wanted, and trying to somehow mate the rear end of a Can-Am car with a humble BMW 2002.
Yep. But he's hanging right there with David. We'll see if he can make any.
Looks a bit like a funny car, and if you see it from behind, you can see through the holes in the bodywork the justification for such an apparently crazy rig that it sports. I mean, the rear wheels are absolutely out of the body, completely out of the normal body of the car, and they are covered by that, whatever it is, because I don't have a name for it. I don't think I would either
fairing
if I was talking in Spanish. So, Coxon, Nilsson, where is Juha Boss? What happened?
Boss is out of the race.
He's out of the race.
Could it be a turbocharger letting go or an engine letting go? It looks like it, yes. Yeah, he just pulled over.
It was an engine.
Oh, it was an engine. And there's Juha in the broadcast. Sorry, Juha.
Oh well, I had to try it. I know these things have a limited lifespan. I think mine was reached.
Well, that puts the underwear boys in first and second then.
Yeah, I had to drive really hard to stay in front of them.
That puts
I was over-revved it a few times.
That puts John Team in third place. Interesting. In your car was turbocharged versus theirs.
Yes.
And even so, it just it was that much effort just to keep in front of them.
Yeah, I had to turn the boost up to the maximum, and that probably killed it really early. So, not my own fault. No points.
Oh well.
They'll teach me.
So John Team now who started at the back of the grid, now all the way up into third place, reflecting the pace that he had in the warm-up session. So I doubt he's going to have a chance. He's got a 15-second gap between himself and second place, and we don't have very long to go, so I doubt he's going to be able to catch them. But great performance by John Team.
Mm-hmm.
Little Al is now all by himself in fourth place after the problems that Jan Kowalski and others have faced.
Yeah, these are short races, but I mean, patience can even be rewarded here.
Mm-hmm. Remen in sixth place. The ghost of Remen is out of the race in 16th. Ray Riddall running all alone at this point in seventh place. Jonathan in eighth. So he did dispatch with Sabre, who is now running slowly and looks like he's out of the race.
Yes, that looks like a blown engine.
Another blown engine.
0 RPM.
Mm. So
But he'll still get a point for it.
Really?
Yeah, well, even if he retires, there's 9 cars running. So.
Well, that means that Pascal moves up to 9th place. Asserclinth in 8th place. So Asserclinth only needs one more place to be in his customary 7th place that he seems to always finish in.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but there is not a single turbocharged car left in the field.
Well, that would probably be more Juha's.
No, Jonathan still has a turbocharger pushing it on.
Okay, right, right.
And Ray as well. I think... No, not Jan Kowalski,
the
sorry.
race car is turbocharged.
Ray has a turbo, yes.
Okay, okay. Speaking of Jonathan, they're hanging the tail out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Jonathan there, definitely using all the road he can.
And Anders now looking at Coxon, but I don't think... I mean, Anders is very cautious, so I don't think he will be trying to do anything silly, trying to put pressure on Coxon or whatever. He's probably happy to collect points and learn from the first race. But he's there, I mean, like ready if anything happens to Coxon.
Mm-hmm. Looks to me like Mikkel is missing part of his front bodywork.
Yeah,
He does.
Which explains why he's going so slow.
Yeah, because we're getting a really good look at the undercarriage of the car.
Mm-hmm. These cars are so odd looking that you hardly make out when they lose a part of the bodywork.
So if Coxon and Nilsson are smart, they'll turn the boost back at this point and try to get home reasonably well, but with 5 laps to go.
No boost for sure. They are not over revving the engine at all.
No.
Anders just gained 3/10 just in the last sector alone.
Yeah.
I think he's staging a comeback.
Well, we'll have to keep a close eye on that. Things to remember with this series, I didn't get a chance to mention this early on with all the technical silliness that was going on. We have an 11-round series for these FIA Group 5 class cars. The venues will consist of street circuits, airport tracks, oh boy, everyone's favorite, and permanent circuits. The field consists of Division 1, which is above 2 liters. We haven't seen them yet. Division 2, which we're watching now, is under 2 liters. For 8 rounds in particular, the field will be split, and you're watching one of those right now. And for 3 rounds, the field will be combined with qualifying and race held. Simultaneously, points will be scored separately for each division.
Yeah, and it's only good that they are split because in tracks like this, where everything is so narrow and well, there is a big speed differential, it could really be hairy to have both running together. It would already be hairy enough in the big Nordschleife, which also will be a Lucas Trophy race, by the way.
Oh, that's true.
A Lucas Vidra Trophy. Mhm. Nilsson gaining now on Coxon visibly, and I wonder if here the rear wheels have something to do about it. Because that's the only difference between these cars, as far as I can tell.
Yes, Richard has bigger,
Look
or
at that,
taller
look at that,
rear
look at
wheels.
that. Richard, that was an error. He lost there a big chunk of time.
Yeah, he did.
Fortunately, he was able to keep it on the track. But yeah, I mean, he's not comfortable at all with the car. We are 4 laps from the end, and Coxon is struggling.
Yeah, we may yet see a change for the lead here in a second. So we got laps 22, 23, and 24 to go. So 3 laps to go.
Yes. And there's now 8 tenths of a second behind Richard.
Yeah, he likely sped up once he saw that Coxon was having trouble. Because there's nothing for a racing driver like smelling the blood in the water. Coxon there out in the sand.
Yeah, definitely pushing it to the limit, but
Climbing the walls and doing everything that he can. Not just to keep the distance, mind you, but also like to try to show to others that any effort is in vain. Because this is also a psychological game.
true.
And this is really closed up now.
Yeah, I'm faced by that. Nilsson, however, is pushing it.
Yeah, this is the only real battle on the circuit right now is for the lead. Everybody else is running alone.
Yeah, because basically 1/3 or even more of the field has blown the engine.
Almost a half.
Yeah, this is actually the first race of the season, so everybody's going to have to learn.
No, people are going to be taking serious notes after this race, no
Yep.
question about it.
And I can guess that in Division 1, where we are going to race afterwards, there's going to be a lot of blown engines, because with, I think, all the cars there have a big turbo. And if you're not careful enough, you're not going to last in the race for too long.
Look at all the beautiful detail inside the cockpit here. I got to give props to the CMH team and David Saber. I mean, look at this detail. This is ridiculous.
The only thing missing is the starting key, eh?
Yeah, I know. I don't see. It's just I'm just looking at all this detail in here, and I'm really humbled by this.
Richard has slightly extended his lead now, back over
Yeah.
1 second. As we almost head into the final lap.
Yeah.
Shame for Letelal to have that spin, because he cut back 3 seconds from John Tim in 3 laps. So it seems that he was really quick enough to make it to the podium today, but so far it seems it won't be the case.
And we head into the final lap of the first race in this 2-race evening.
With 7 tenths between them.
Yep.
Wonder if Richard would risk taking more revs out of the engine on this final lap.
Well, not that unless it's really needed, but it
No,
doesn't seem
it's-
that Nelson is interested in trying to gamble it in the last lap either.
Order is still the same from the rest of the field. Team in third, Little Al is in fourth, Jan Kowalski fifth, Francois Remen sixth, Ray Riddall is seventh, and Jonathan Asselklint, last car running is, or I'm sorry, not last car running, is eighth, and Pascal Mikkel one lap down in ninth.
Now it's close.
Yeah.
The
Yes.
chicane, Coxon was very careful.
Wonder if Anders would try anything on the last braking zones. There's still 2 where he can try it.
I wouldn't think he would do a daring move, but he will for sure try to put some pressure on
Oh,
Richard.
it's getting really close now.
Yep.
Yep.
Only one chicane to go. Coxon taking their defensive line.
Yeah, that's basically gonna cement it for him, I think.
Yeah. Ooh, well, bit off the apex. Maybe a better exit for Anders, but the straight probably be too short.
No, definitely
Richard
not.
does it.
Fantastic drive by Richard Coxon and Anders Nilsson, the Fruit of the Loom boys, giving
Well
us a
done.
great show.
John Team
Meanwhile,
heading for third.
yeah, John Team's heading for third. Another great drive.
Pascal Mikula just in front of him, bring his slightly reduced escort home.
Oof. And some laps ago, I mentioned that Little Al was 10 seconds behind John Tim. He's now only 7 seconds. So it's, like I said, a shame that he didn't have the chance because he was really quick here.
There's Little Al bringing his Zach Speed Ford home in
Good
fourth
start
place.
of the season anyway
Yeah.
for all the ones that finished. They are going to get points.
And Jan Kowalski, despite his tire trouble, is coming home in a top 5 position, which is quite good.
Just ahead of Francois Remen, who's now exiting the final chicane.
Mm-hmm. Yep, there he is.
That's a good result for him.
And Ray Riddall also coming to the, or actually, he's coming to final chicane now as well.
First turbocharged car home. Only in 7th place. And there's the final car to cross the line, Jonathan.
Yep. All right, so that was the first race for this evening.
Exactly. Time to move on and let the big boys have a play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is going to be a very different situation, more of a point and squirt situation, I would think. But we're going to take a quick breather here. We'll be back for the.
Yep.
May as well show. We might be able to show some qualifying, but in any case, we will be right back. First, actually, let's see. Are they still up here? No, they are not. Okay. All right. So we'll be right back after this short break, and we'll have the Group 1 cars. All right, so we're back and we're ready for Division 1 action, correct, Juha?
Correct.
Yes. Referring to the copious notes that Juha has prepared for me here, basically, this is going to be a Porsche 935 Cup.
Yeah, with one Celica and one BMW for variety.
Is there a Toyota in this division as well?
Yes.
That's what you meant. You said Celica. Celica.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah.
Yes, it's the one qualified in 9th place by Matthew Ibañez.
You can see there that Thiago is on the pole with Wilkes in 2nd, Jake's in 3rd, Hill in 4th, Giant in 5th, Whited in 6th, Drexler 7th, Stur in 8th, Sibignani in 9th, Amaral 10th, Rocha 11th, Santo 12th, Bruno Chacon 13th, and Filippo Marazzi, who I think we haven't seen yet, is here 14th. So it should be a very interesting race.
Could be, yes. I think Marazzi only competes in this series. That's why we haven't seen him elsewhere. Most other drivers seem to combine multiple series.
One more look at the track itself for everybody. Zolder, it's going to be 24 laps for Division 1, just as it was for Division 2. Also, points handed out in this race. We mentioned the race just concluded. This is the points spread that's going to be given. Now, do points also go to you if you do not finish the race?
Depends on the distance covered, but I've given them to the last non-finisher in Division 2 as well. So even if you don't finish, you'll still get a point because you're classified.
Okay, so there you can see the points all the way down to 10th. The overall points table is combined with both classes, which is kind of odd. There is no separate class championship, and the best 9 results count towards the driver's championship total, and there are 11 rounds total, so that will further add to the complexities. Coming up at ISO in 1 week's time, I believe, February 6th, and we were going to do Long Beach, but we're still working on that track, so we're going to do instead Portland, the Budweiser G.I. Joe's 200 presented by Texaco. So everybody's getting their sponsorship in there. That's the second round out of 15, Sunday, February 6th, green flag at 2000 CET. And trivia question that we haven't gotten to yet, but we'll give the answer for later. Who won the last Belgian Grand Prix held at Zolder on the 29th of April, 1984? Was it A, René Arnoux, B, Alain Prost, or C, Michele Alboreto? We'll have the answer later on in the broadcast.
Can I have a go at the answer?
Yes, you may, but not now. Let's wait until
Okay.
let's wait until after the race, so everybody has some time to think.
I don't need to think, I know it.
Well, okay, well, even more.
But I'll shut my mouth and I'll keep it till the end.
All right, yeah, that's. All right, so this is the warm-up session now. 10 minutes to go into the race itself. Riding with Tim Hill now. This will be a good chance to take a look at the circuit proper. There he is exiting the pit lane. Let's look at it from the cockpit. Heads into a series of right-handers that progressively get tighter. Downshifting here for this last right-hander. And now there's going to be a long squirt behind the pit lane before he gets to the left-right chicane that everybody knows. It's pretty characteristic of Zandvoort. I'm sorry, not Zandvoort. Zolder, designed by the same person.
Correct.
Yep. Heading down the backstretch now. Another chicane. Turbo lag is massive on this thing. Is it basically, Juha, a situation of keeping the car underneath you?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, if you manage to keep all the doors closed or run a normal pace and don't drive horribly slow, you don't have much of a chance. You really need to hope the guy in front makes a mistake because the chicanes are so narrow. Can't afford to barge into them. So if you keep a solid rhythm, you're basically settled.
And
You
just
never
like
know
that,
if the guy behind you wants to turn up the turbo, then it's a different story, of course.
that was one lap right there of Zolder. You can see how the first turn in this this version is a little bit tighter than in previous versions. Yeah, lots of Porsche 935s in this series. And the odd 911. Janik there driving the Jägermeister. Would it be designated a 911 in this spec, or is it something? Or 930?
It will be a 934, actually.
934, okay.
Which formed the basis of the 935. So mechanically, it's roughly close, but obviously the 935 looks a lot wilder.
Without the headlamps.
True, the 935 has the flat nose. I think the original 935 also had the headlights, and then as soon as they started selling them to private drivers, that went away, that feature.
Yep. What else do we have doing laps here? Filippo Marazzi, who I believe is experiencing some kind of digital problem with his skin. But let's see who else. Here's Luciano Rocha. Oh, and here's the Toyota that we mentioned earlier, the lone Celica, driven by Matteo Sibignoni. And man, is he having to really work to haul that thing to a stop.
I think he's driving with a gamepad, so
Oh no.
not the easiest way to control a car, but the lap times are there, so hope for him the car won't live up to its reputation of blowing up about halfway through each race.
Well, if driving these cars wasn't difficult enough, he's doing it with a gamepad. Good grief. So about 5 minutes to go now.
Yes. Well,
Wilkes.
Ibañez just had fastest lap in the
Yeah, there you
warm-up
go.
session for what it's worth.
Okay, keep that in mind, of course. Here's Richard Wilkes, who works so hard behind the scenes to get these mods ready to go.
Just remember, Richard is not in the standard 935, but in the K2 version. Visually slightly different. And now being followed by his teammate in the more recent 77 version of the 935.
Yep, David Jakes. USAC champion from last year.
Correct.
This is the view inside looking forward at Wilkes' car. Yeah, you can see how much the lift off of the throttle in between shifts can cause a kind of a lurch forward backward. That's Canola now on top of the warm-up standings. Alberto was telling us off the air that this is likely going to be a shootout between Canola and Wilkes. We'll see.
Well, I wouldn't discount David Jakes. Maybe he was a bit off in qualifying. Well, a few tenths slower in qualifying, but looking at him harassing Wilkes on track now, I think he's a man to be reckoned with.
All right, 3 minutes. Here's Jason Whitehead. Also driving a 935. That tail end definitely wants to swing around. You got to do everything you can to keep it from doing that, I'm sure. We've driven 935s before in other series, but this is a division that's pretty much populated almost fully with them.
Yes, I think we drove them when we did endurance championships, but that was the early 80s already. By then, I'm not saying the car was antiquated, but certainly wasn't the most recent thing you could get. Although that says a lot about the lifespan of a Porsche, that it was still competitive by then.
For sure.
Two minutes left to the race.
Yep. And Drexler cruising through the front straightaway in his 935. You can see how much it's definitely evident looking at it from the back. You can see how the back end is pulled out, or the rear track is much wider than the original car. Well, Whitehead is right with Wilkes now, but and Canola is right behind them.
Well, hopefully they'll be this close in the race, and I think that's David Jiggs just in front of them.
Yeah.
So if they run this close in the race, we could, despite looking at the same car every time, have a very exciting battles going on.
Yeah, it should be interesting for sure.
I think Wilkes' Porsche is slightly down a power compared to the other ones. From the notes I took, it's... Yeah, I think it's about 35 bhp down on the more recent version.
Yep.
Well, they'll get an update in a few races, so he'll be on par with the rest of the field if he wishes to choose that car.
Okay.
Only 20 seconds left.
Alright, so hopefully everybody's got their race sets ready to go and they know what they're going to do. 24 laps on the board for this group, and it's going to be a very different driving style from Division 2. No question about it.
Correct. At least we've got one benefit over the actual race in 1978. It's not raining.
Yeah,
we'll actually be able to do the full distance.
Yeah, that was the one thing I noticed looking for photos of this race. The only photo I could find, it was raining. So
yeah, there weren't many of them because I think they stopped it halfway through. The track was flooded.
Well, there you go.
Thankfully, this is a virtual world and the sun is shining.
All right, so we're going to the race session now, and indeed Tiago is on the pole. Has not gone to track yet, but once the cars are rolling, we'll go through the grid with you real quickly.
Yeah, so it does take a bit of time to sync. It took quite a while in the previous race as well before we could get there.
All right, there's Tiago on the grid. Is this the same car that won in real life? The George Luce car?
I think it did.
Or is there another one?
No, I think it was this car, the one driven by Hazemans. He was awarded the win ahead of Bob Wallach. He was in the Green Valiant entry. Now Canola is on the grid.
Yes, he is. All right.
Joined by Wilkes.
Yeah, Zolder race was red flagged at halfway due to heavy rain, and Hazeman's George Lou's 935 was declared the winner ahead of Wallach. So, I'll have to keep a close eye on. I mean, it's obviously not going to happen here. We're going to go full distance and hopefully have a lot of fun watching it. So, on the pole, as mentioned, Thiago Canola, Weisenberg, team number 6.
Oh my
goodness.
Wilkes.
What is going on here? Okay, Wilkes is in second. I don't think he damaged the car doing that, but in the Minolta Kramer team number 4 entry. Jakes is in third place. Valiant Kramer team number 2. Fourth is Tim Hilla, which we were watching earlier in the other Weisberg entry number 9. Number 5 is David Yunt, Max Moritz Jägermeister number 5, 935 entry. 6th is Jason Whited, Conrad Racing number 16. 7th, Mikael Drexler, Porsche Kramer Racing number 3. Then Gabriel Sturr, BMW Motorsport number 17. And then there's the lone Toyota, driven by Matthew Sebignani starting 9th. Francisco Amaral is starting 10th. McLeod Dries number 18. 11th, Luciano Rocha in the Conrad Racing number 10. Alan Santo in the Toon Siaker. I don't even know what that's.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah, I know. Number 32. 13th, Bruno Chacon. Number 11. 14th, Filippo Marazzi. I still don't know what's going on with that skin, but that's he's in number 33. And rounding out the field is Alberto Ibañez, who I don't believe took qualifying.
No, he didn't. And Thiago is now exiting the final chicane.
All right, so, and Janik is in 16th in the lone 934. Here they come to the grid in nice formation. And the race is underway. Oh, sorry.
And Thiago runs quite wide.
Yeah, he does. But that was kind of an odd start because...
It looked as if Wilkes was ahead of him. And he's down to 4th now.
Yeah, and then Wilkes is all the way down to 4th, so maybe just Wilkes checking up that much.
And meanwhile, Sebagnoni's got his car up to 6th, rubbing with Tim Hiller.
Yep. That Toyota, he's definitely the most unusual car in the race, no question. Not just because it's a Toyota, but just the construction of it's very different. Through the chicane.
And Alberto is up to 13th for someone who said he wouldn't qualify. Would he gain 3 places?
He does that frequently. He likes to like hang out back and you know, just have a safe start and see what happens. Sometimes there's wisdom in that. It looks like everybody's going to get through the first lap without too much trouble. Canola in the lead. Jakes is stalking him as they head through the last chicane and onto the front straight to complete lap number 1. Yeah, it's interesting that Wilkes dropped all the way back to 4th. Do you think it might have been just that he had checked up to get in line and he was told he was ahead of the leader?
It could be. We didn't really see what happened in turn 1. Maybe someone outbraked him into it. As easy as that. Looks like Jakes and Canola are already opening a gap. Already 2 seconds ahead of David Yunt. As Jakes has a better exit from the chicane, but doesn't get close enough.
No, not quite, but I think we're going to see a lot of this throughout the race where you get right up close and it's just still actually, you saw a lot of that in Division 2. People getting their car right to the brink of overtaking, but just not quite enough there.
You're thinking it's wiser to not do it.
Yep. Into the final chicane, end of lap number 2, going into lap 3. And it's all in, a lot of it, I'm sure is going to be in how you get that power down.
It is, yeah, because it's obviously the car is quite laggy, and compared to a Division 2 car, it's a big lump of a car which needs to brake a lot earlier. This definitely isn't a track for it. Yeah, it's all about not overdoing it.
Oh, look at this fantastic battle between Ibañez and Tim Hille. They're right with each other, and Ibañez really getting as much as he can out of that Toyota. It's got to be really hard to aim the car precisely through those tires every single time.
It definitely is, I can tell you.
Yeah.
They're quite daunting. Each time you think I can get a little closer, but do you really want to?
Yeah. Well, it looks like Hille had a really excellent exit from that corner, and he's got a roll on Ibañez now, so maybe
he does. And he
goes
goes to the
he's trying the
outside.
Ibañez gives him the room, but nope.
If he can get the power down earlier, maybe he can do it at the end of the next straights.
Yeah, maybe.
Well,
yeah,
it looks like he's got a better run.
He does. But Ibañez taking a defensive line, heading into the chicane. Left. Right. Yep.
Meanwhile, David Junset's first lap.
He does, yeah.
And he's gotten really close to... I was going to say David Jakes, but
oh,
no,
look at this.
No.
There goes Hille. He's looking up the outside. Oh, Ibañez's overcooked it. Ibañez overcooks it, and I believe... Yeah, Hille swept through into... Let's have a look at that on a replay. Yeah, Ibañez just overcooked it into the corner and slid wide, and actually, man, he was lucky to not get into the gravel there. But Tim Hille goes up one spot.
I don't know what's happened to Thiago, but he just got left behind by his two.
Yeah, Thiago is
now down to third.
Thiago was leading. And something happened. He's now down to third place. Jake's in the lead. Not sure what happened there, but we're going to run back here and see if we can get
Well, I've been trying to find it, but he just seemed to lose time on the front straight. And I'll try to find it out for you so you can remain with the lead battle while it's still going on.
That was strange because it happened all of a sudden.
It did. He exited the final chicane first, and then suddenly he wasn't there anymore.
That's weird. So the order now is Jakes in lead, Yunt in second, Canola in third, Wilkes in fourth, White in fifth, Hille is in sixth place, Ibañez seventh, Drexler eighth, Stur ninth, and Rocha rounding out the top 10. And those are the ones that score points, don't forget. We already have one DNF. Francisco Amaral is out of the race, unfortunately.
I'll see what happened to him. He was still in the race when he started the previous lap. Ah, that looks like a case of a blown engine for Francisco.
Oh boy.
Coming over the crest. Well, not even the crest.
Meanwhile, there's There's a dandy battle going on right now for 9th place between Gabriel Stur and Luciano Rocha. I'm sorry. Yes. Yeah, and Stur gets by, but he goes past the... Well, he's going to get a warning from the stewards there. Oh, he gives it back, actually. Very sportingly of him.
Indeed.
But he might have given up a bit more road there than he wanted to. But Rocha stays in 9th and Stur back to 10th.
Meanwhile, Jun's leading the race.
So
As we head into... Ooh, that's not a good exit.
Yeah, so Jake's looking to counterattack now.
Doesn't try to break him.
So really, this looks like it's a case of wait for someone in front of you to make a mistake.
That's probably the wisest thing to do around this place. Or wait for the engine to die. Very effective, I heard. And despite all this, Wilkes is just 4 seconds behind them. So it's... If they start to annoy each other too much and lose time, you can always stage a comeback. Although David seems to get the hang of his orange car. And that's... Oh, yeah, Tim Hiller makes it past Jason Whited, who misses the chicane. Wonder if Whited will fall victim to the Toyota, but it doesn't look like it.
No, not this corner at least. That's assuming, and it's a big F, like, based on what you've been telling me, that if that Toyota finishes.
It'd be a miracle. And that doesn't mean anything against the driver's ability, it's more the reliability of the car that I'm targeting. It didn't do many races in 1978, and it certainly didn't finish many.
Jake's staying right with Yunt. Just waiting for the opportunity to present itself. You can just see them just skating along, like they're just right on that brink of adhesion. You push it too far and that's it.
Wilkes seems to be dropping back a bit. He's lost half a second over the final lap, the last lap, sorry.
Yeah, wonder what's wrong there. Heading down to the Villeneuve chicane, I believe.
Correct.
Yep.
It was historically only built a few years after this race.
Yeah. Oh! Jake's lost some time there as the back end fishtailed on him, so not that it's gonna...
Oh, that's a bit of area entry for Junt. Meanwhile, Sibagnoni is getting on the rear wing of Jason Whited.
Oh yeah, he is. Very close. He's got a red light on there telling him when to shift. Probably a good idea to have that.
It definitely is in that car.
Oh, look at Whited.
Whited?
Swinging wide there a little bit, but I don't think there's enough room. No, not enough room left for...
No, because Matthew has to back off. I'm not sure that's the ideal place.
No.
I think we can expect something from him very soon.
Chicane execution there.
Very neat.
Oh man, I think he might have missed a shift there. But at the same time, White is slowing up a lot. And look at that! Oh! Contact! Ooh! Oh man! Ibañez gets by, but heavy contact there on the doors between the two. Let's look at that in a replay. The opening was there. White had left the door open, and Ibañez went for it. But man, then there was heavy contact side to side between the two of them. So, not the prettiest overtake you're going to see, but
no, definitely not. The gap was there. I think that's all that should be said about it. And David Junt is opening a sizable lead now, 3 seconds over Thiago.
yeah, well, where did Jakes go? Jakes is all the way down to 4th now. Good grief, you blink and you miss something here. So that brings Wilkes up to 3rd. So Jakes evidently made some kind of error at some point.
Jakes actually spun exiting the first chicane. He clipped a tire, and went into the gravel. That's why he now has Wilkes in front of him. You can also spot the panel damage on the right rear quarter of David Jakes' car, as he's trying to regain lost time. It does put Wilkes driving conservatively up to nice 3rd place. Patience being rewarded.
Mm-hmm.
So unfortunately for us, that means the front is a bit spread out. Closest battles appear to be around 7th to 9th place. With his 4 cars running reasonably close together.
Reasonably close, but not very close.
Well, not as close as 11 and 12th place, with his 2 Brazilians dicing for it.
Mm-hmm. Oh no! David Jakes has spun again in the first turn.
Trying to find a gear, and there goes Ibañez.
Yep, so
Up to
Jakes
5th
now
in the Toyota.
down to 6th. I wouldn't have expected Ibañez to be up this high this early, so we'll see how this pans out.
Yeah, I expect Jakes not to want to spend too much time behind him.
Mm-hmm. Hilla having a nice smooth race, quietly in 4th place. Yeah, Junt's out in front here and pretty much in command unless he makes a huge error.
And David Jakes is getting really close to Ibañez.
Oh boy, this could be good.
I don't think 5th place will be his for very long.
No, not yet, but
I think by the end of the lap there'll be a green Porsche in it, although not if he does it this way.
Yep. Jakes tries around the outside, doesn't get it done. Ibañez taking a defensive line into the chicane.
Yeah, well done.
Which he's entitled to do, but
does give Jakes a much better chance for an exit.
Yes, he does.
There he comes. Oh.
Yep. Almost runs into the back of him.
Tries the outside. No luck.
No, but it's probably... Whoa, my goodness. Oh, no, who's that? There's somebody back there.
And I don't know. Jason Whited it was.
It was Whited, okay. But
And that looks like a blown engine.
oh man.
Like all the revs just went.
Well, here's Jakes with another attempt, and this time I don't know if Ibañez going to be able to hold him off. Well, actually, you know, Ibañez making that Toyota as wide as he possibly can. It's a wide car to start with, but he's entering each chicane with the intent to make it as difficult as possible.
Well, it is right. I can do
Yeah.
it. Jake's get much better exit, but has to back off every time.
Yeah, but Jakes must be getting very frustrated at this point. If I were in his car, I would be, because he can go much faster than Ibañez going. And he basically is going to have to wait for Ibañez to make a major error. Yeah, see there, Jakes backed off a bit. Now he's going to try to get a longer run.
Yes, it does.
There it is, right there.
One half on the grass. That's not going to do any favors.
Well,
but now it's the inside line, and he does it.
He finally gets by. It was just a matter of when, really.
Yeah, I had to set up a good pass. And just behind them, Stur is overtaking Drexler.
Look at that. Ibañez is going to get the position back. Maybe. Yes, indeed, he does. Because Jakes had a really wild exit off that corner. But
Jakes comes back, runs wide.
Runs wide. No, Ibañez is going to hang on to it again. Wow, this is the best battle in the circuit between these two.
Well, the one behind wasn't bad either. But
yeah.
More touching.
I saw a piece flying there.
I think he's got it now, unless
finally.
Oh, well, that's not nice.
No. Careful.
That's not the sort of behavior we like to see. But I think Jakes can make a run for it now. And Ibañez can better watch out for Gabriel Stur, who's right behind him now. And behind Gabriel, there's the third of the Kramer Porsches with Michael Drexler. Although that car seems to be dropping a lot of revs there. Yeah. Oh, he pulls off. Drexler pulls off. That seems to be another blown engine.
Oh, there we go. So there's 3 DNFs now from blown engines.
Yeah, I was just saying that Kramer had 3 cars in the top 8. Well, that's gone then. And I think that Gabriel Stur will place an attempt on Ibañez very soon. He's already trying to pull alongside. Thinks better of it. Oh, no, maybe not.
Man. Look at him around the outside there, but not enough room. So at some point, you got to think that Ibañez's tires are going to start to really degrade the way that he's driving.
Well, I'm more surprised his engine has outlasted all the Porsche, some Porsches.
That too.
There's another battle, but a lot further in the back for 11th place between Brian Chanik and Filippo Marazzi. The last car currently running is Alberto Ibañez, who's soon to be lapped by David Yunt. And Stur made it past Ibañez. After a very interesting passing of the chicane, let's put it that way. There was more body contact.
Oh, well, Ibañez, I think, is just have a little bit of he overcooked it going into that corner. So there you go. He's
yeah, he was brake on the grass. That didn't help.
He's really having to soft pedal it now. So Yunt still leads. Canola in second place. Wilkes is in third.
Hiller fourth.
Hilla in fourth.
And a 13-second gap to David Jakes.
Mm-hmm.
Gabriel Sturr. Followed by Sebagnoni. Gano Rocha in 8th. And 2 more Brazilians in 9th and 10th. And the battle for 9th between Bruno Chacon and Alan Santo is actually the only battle we have on track.
Yeah, this is looking to shape up to be a good one here.
Santo tries to go for the inside.
Yeah, but doesn't quite work out.
I think he's been trying to find a gap for many, many laps, but Bruno's not having it. And Marazzi just ran into gravel in turn 1 and lost the race to Brian Janik, who is now in 11th in the older 934.
Let's have a look at that in replay. Yeah, there he is, Marazzi going off the track, just out of your picture. And Janik gets by.
And Alberto Ibañez is now in the process of being lapped by the quicker drivers.
Yeah, Chacon's got the measure on him for now, it looks like. Hilla, oh my goodness, Tim Hilla misses a chicane entirely, so he's it's funny, he's I mentioned he's had a quiet race, but apparently his tires are starting to go.
An interesting fact is that Gabriel Sturr has closed into less than 10 seconds of David Jakes. 2 seconds of David Jakes. I wonder if David is saving engine, because he's getting really close now.
Yeah, he is. You're right. There it is. Jake's in the Valiant number 2, and Gabriel Sturr.
And Marazzi overtakes Janik on sheer power on the home straight. And Janik goes back for... takes revenge. Takes him again. And about to be lapped by David Jones.
Oh, look at Jakes! It's fishtailing it, and that might be what Sturr needs, and it is. Sturr gets by. God, so Jakes really is having a hard time holding on to that car. Down to 6th now. So with only about 8 laps to go now, it's basically a case of Yunt just cruising home.
Yeah, I think he's got this in the bag. 5 seconds of Canola and 12 over Wilkes, that should do.
Yeah. Ibañez running in 13th place. About to be lapped by Wilkes. Shouldn't be too big of a problem. There he goes.
Oh! Got very close to Wilkes there.
Very, very close, but no problem. Yunt completes lap number 16 into lap number 17.
Iago just lapped Janik and Marazzi.
Yes.
Wilkes is coming up to lap them. Miller still in 4th. And Jakes is again closing in on Gabriel Sturr.
Yeah, so this is not over.
Oh, far from it. I don't expect David to sit there quietly until the race is over. Ibañez is driving in a more lonely way in 7th. Rocha in 8th. Chacon seems to get rid of Alan Santo. I don't know why that happened, but
Yeah, Ster seems okay here.
I can see that Alan Santo actually lost touch with Bruno Chacon after running wide 2 or 3 times. So. As Wilkes is coming up to lap the slower of the 2 Jägermeister entries, who is still eyeing up Filippo Marazzi's K2 Porsche.
Yeah, check on it. Const in 9th pretty solidly now, but yeah, you can see Santos about to be overtaken.
And Matthew Sebagnoni seems to have a problem.
Oh boy. Oh no, we've Marazzi spun off again.
Sebagnoni has blown the engine.
Oh boy. Well, sad that your prediction for that car came true. Sebagnoni out of the race. So that will elevate Rocha to 7th, Chacon to 8th.
Yes, this does quite reduce the interest level of this race.
Well, we've seen stuff. There's stuff that's happened when we're not looking before, so who knows?
True. Well, Jakes is still only a 2.5 behind Ster. But after that, the gaps are just growing and growing.
Yep.
I don't know what happened to Filippo Marazzi, but he's suddenly a long way back behind Brian Janik, 10 seconds.
He spun. He was in the gravel. He was in the gravel.
Sion completes lap 18. Six laps to go for him. Canola still second. I'm just looking at the forum. Michael Drexler has confirmed that he probably over-revved the engine too much and missed a few gears, which contributed to him blowing his engine. At least you can say it's a short trip home. He doesn't live far away from Zolder either. Jones completes another lap. That's 19 in the bag. We can just about smell victory now, unless his engine decides to say farewell too. And the gap between Gabriel and David Jakes is now up to 4 seconds. So I think Gabriel's running away with 5th place. Luciano Rocha still in 7th.
Yeah.
Gonna say, yeah, half a minute ahead of his countryman Bruno Chacon. who in turn is 14 seconds ahead of Alan Santo.
Yep. Oh, there's Marazzi. Man, Marazzi does not like that corner. He's
No, clearly not.
No, he's been off there 3 times, so he's really having a hard time there, unfortunately.
Yes, there's no way he's going to catch Danik by doing that. Because he was close, he was only 5 seconds behind him when the lap started, but he's throwing it away this in this style, that's not going to help him.
Yep. Well, let's see. What kind of space do we have here?
It does close the gap Alberto has to him, so who knows, maybe Alberto can get rid of that last car running place.
Perhaps.
I don't know, I think one more mistake by Marazzi and he has it.
Yeah, he might.
Junt now completing 20 laps. 4 to go. Canola still only less than 6 seconds behind. We're slightly running out of interesting battles here.
Yeah, we are. Maybe it's trivia question time.
I think so. We can just about get that one in then. If I remember correctly, the question was who won the 1984. Oh, was the 1984 the last Zolder Grand Prix? I don't know how you phrased it. I'll leave it up to you. Jake's a spawn. Jake's a spawn.
Again?
In the gravel. Oh. And that's a very nasty position to recover from.
Yeah, that's not good.
Oof. Well, he's out.
Oh, there he goes. He's back going again. Still 6th. Maybe he'll retain it.
Yeah, because Roger is still a few turns behind. Jake's now having to let Alberto Ibañez through. Who'd ever thought that one? That car looks to be in a very sorry state. I don't know if he hit something actually. It does look like it because it's even more bent than before. Yeah, he did. He clipped the outside with tire wall. Well, they're not forgiving, so I think his car's quite out of line. And he's got a suspension damage, puncture, he spins again.
Oh man, yeah, that's not good.
I think that car has definitely seen better days, but he's got a huge gap over Bruno Chacon, so he should be able to. Well,
yeah, but he's definitely dealing with more than overheated tires now.
That's not that suspension damage. That car isn't pointing straight anymore.
Yeah, he's got suspension problems too.
I wonder if he's going to park it. Yeah, that looks like it. Oh no, he's just letting Junt through politely.
Yeah, he's just trying to make room for him. That's all. Or Anders is correct. Maybe he has a flat tire.
Ooh. Can we still get your trivia question in before the end of the race?
Yes, we can, I believe. Alright, let's see. Trivia question. Who won the last Belgian Grand Prix held at Zolder on 29th April 1984? Was it A, René Arnoux, B, Alain Prost, or C, Michele Alboreto? What are your thoughts?
I'd definitely go with Alboreto.
Yeah? We'll give everybody else a little bit of time to think about this one. And the correct answer is Michele Alboreto.
That wasn't too difficult.
Sorry. I'll come up with more
well, it
difficult
wasn't for
one
me. Well, it was actually difficult. Just remember when the race was over, he won, but it would turn out to be his only victory of the year. But he just stood there saying, we start now in the championship. Obviously, that was the last one you'd ever win. That was quite wrong.
Oh well.
But no, I quite like Alberto, so that's why I remember when he did win that race.
I see.
And let's see if there's any changes. Hicks is still driving around with his wounded car. Gap with Bruno Chacon. I was going to say Bruno Chacon, but I think he's actually pitted because Chacon is ahead of him and he's down in 9th now. He's even at risk of being overtaken by Janik. Because that car is definitely sideways on the braking. Jones goes into the final lap.
Okay.
Nolan now just under 6 seconds behind. Over 6
Oh
seconds.
no! David Young
Oh, he
spun the
spun!
car!
He spins! Can
I
he
don't
get-
believe it!
Oh, he keeps it going. Jeez, considering that car, that's very well done. But we're getting a very exciting end of the race now.
Yeah, we are.
We didn't expect that one.
That is not what I was expecting to see at all. Yunt continuing on. Gap is decreased considerably, obviously. But,
Less than 2 seconds now.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, he misses a shift. That won't do him any good. Oh, look at Thiago really trying to get closer. I think he's giving it everything now. We can smell him.
Yeah, but definitely not going to.
No, but he's definitely going to stop trying until the final turn.
Yeah, I know. He's definitely going to keep trying, but it's going to take another error on Yunt's part, I believe.
True. He's cut off another half second. Yunt misses his shift there, I think. That was a very high rev. See if Canola can get even closer. It'll be a close finish, but if Yunt doesn't get his exit... Oh, that's a
Look at this.
very
look at
bad
this.
entry. Oh, we get a
Look at
photo
this, look
finish
at
for
this.
this one.
Yeah,
This is
Canola-
exciting, but
Canola
Yunt,
coming
I
off the
think
corner.
Will Yunt take it?
Oh, almost. No, not quite.
Close, but not close enough. What an exciting finish. We certainly didn't expect that one.
No, we did not. Yunt wins the race. Very close finish. Canola in second place.
Wilkes third.
Wilkes will be third. There he is.
Hiller is now in the final chicane,
He'll,
heading for fourth.
Gabriel Sturr, very nice drive for him. Finishing in fifth.
The next car on the road is Luciano Rocha, who's still at the back of the circuit. Meanwhile, Bruno Chacon, being lapped, has already claimed 7th. Alan Santo 8th, and David Jakes is about to cross the line for 9th place. Followed by Brian Janik, who runs off the top 10 in the older 934. And also still running and going very sideways, Filippo Marazzi on his way to 11th. Missing a few gears in the process. And there's also Alberto Ibañez.
In 12th. Yep. Good job.
Rocha is about to cross the finish line, and so is Alberto. I think those are the last two cars to cross the line.
Yep, that's it. All right.
Oh, we certainly got a lot more than we bargained for there.
Towards the end, for sure, yeah. All right, so those were the Division 2 and Division 1 races for first race at Zolder. Your reactions, Juha?
Well, I need to have a word with my engine builder for the next one. The car definitely is competitive, but I need to make sure to get it to finish races. But it's As you can see, if you're too hard on the mechanical side of your car, you won't see the end of the race. There's a few
No, you won't.
blown engines in each race, so it's driving fast is one thing, but it's not unlimited, unfortunately. The car has a lifespan, and if you hit the wrong number or you try to extract too much from it, you get punished. So,
Mm-hmm. True.
and there's no secret that David Young's good at endurance driving, so he knows at which point he can have a car and what he can do with it and what he can't. So he's proven that point today.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, nobody is in the green room. It's getting late, obviously, in Europe. I'm going to use this opportunity to close out the broadcast. This is Jason White saying so long from Zolder. We'll see you next time out, which will be at Portland for the IndyCars. Good night. Sleep tight. See everybody later.